Hey everyone, Tendra here. In today's video, we'll take a look at April 9th to April 15th and see exactly what I did this week. The biggest thing I did work on this week was finishing up 2 of my alts. What I was trying to do with them is get them all into veteran tier, and I only have 2 left. I have a Death Knight and I have a Rogue yet to go. I'm trying to get these done before Season 4 hits, and this week I managed to finish one more up. And that was the Death Knight. So with one more week before Season 4 hits, hopefully I can finish my Rogue off. And this week I did get the Shadow Flame skin for the renewed Proto Drake. I am in a guild that raids pretty normally, and I'm sure they do heroic. I'm just personally an LFR raider. The convenience of LFR raiding seems to work out way better for me, but I really did want the Shadow Flame skin, so I seen someone advertising it in general chat, and the price was only 50k gold. I thought that was pretty reasonable, so I got in and did that. And finally, the last thing I did for the week was my weekly farms. I'm upping them a little bit. I'm now farming 8 different mounts, so let's take a look and see how I did on them all this week. First thing I went after this week was the Scythe of the Unmaker. This is the only weapon I'm currently farming, and I need the red version, so it's going to drop in Mythic and Taurus the Burning Throne. Once I'm over there, I make sure I'm set to Mythic and I head in. I work my way back to Argus the Unmaker and I take him down. This week I got attempt number 105 on this weapon, but again I didn't see it drop, so I'm going to have to come back here next week. Next on my list, I went after the Cartel's Master Gearglider. This drops in Mythic Tashavesh, and this is the last 5-man mount that I'm farming. Once I get this one done, I won't have any mounts that drop in 5-man dungeons left. Once I got over here, I made sure I was set to Mythic again. I headed in, and I worked my way back to the back. I took the boss out, and got attempt number 5 on the Gearglider. I don't expect it to drop this early along, but sometimes I get pleasantly surprised and it does happen, so I'll come back here next week and just keep at it till I see it. The next mount I went after was G.M.O.D. For this you have to do battle for Desire Lore, but I chose to do it on the LFR version this week. That means it drops from Jaina Proudmoore. Once I took her down, I got attempt number 36 on this mount. Again, I didn't see it drop this week, so I'll be back here next week. Now I went after the Glacial TideStorm. This drops off of Jaina Proudmoore and Battle for Desire Lore also, but it only drops off the Mythic version. This I have to find a group for, because I can't solo it yet, but I can normally find a group that's just doing Jaina alone, and it makes it pretty quick and easy. This week with her kill, I got attempt number 34 on the Glacial TideStorm. I didn't see it drop again this week, so it's another one I'll have to come back to next week. Here's one of the newer ones I started. This is the Zareth Overseer. This drops in the Sepulture of the first one, and right now groups are pretty plentiful for this. I'm doing the full raid because I'm grabbing Transmog out of there also, but once we killed the end boss, I got my second attempt on this mount. I didn't see it drop, so it's another one I'm going to have to come back to next week. Now I headed into the Sanctum of Domination. Out of here I'm after the Sanctum Gloomcharger. This drops off to 9. I had some attempts through LFR when this was current, so taking the 9 out this week gave me attempt number 17 on the mount. It's another one I didn't see drop, and it's another one I'll have to come back to next week. The last mount I went after was Vengence. This drops off Sylvanas Windrunner, and it has to be done on Mythic. Once we got back to her and took her down, that gave me attempt number 2 on this mount. I didn't see it drop, but it's probably the coolest, so I'm hoping this one doesn't take too long to come up. So the last mount I went after this week was Mimiron's Head, but I do this one just a little bit different. I do this as a multi-character farm, and if you're not sure what that means, it's where I take 13 characters every week to the same raid or instance till the item I'm farming drops. Doing this seems to be my most productive route at getting mounts or items, so let's take a look and see how I did this week.
Finally upon you, and all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. And all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. Miserable little seedling. And all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. Upon you, and all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. All who inhabit this miserable little seedling. Ului Bisala, Gagerong, make me stronger. And all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. Ului Bisala, Gagerong, miserable little seedling. Ului Bisala, Gagerong, your petty force only makes me stronger. Finally upon you, and all who inhabit this miserable little seedling. Ului Bisala, Gagerong, miserable little seedling. Ului Bisala, Gagerong,
Well, there we go. 6 weeks into doing this as a multi-character farm, I still haven't seen it. So I'll just have to keep at it, but hopefully I see it pretty soon. And just in case you're wondering, the set I'm wearing this week is the Darkmoon Harlequin spells. This is awarded from the trading post. It hasn't came back up for sale yet, but at some time it should, considering Blizzard has said repetitively that every item will make a reappearance on the trading post. So if you didn't get it the first time around, you're just going to have to wait, and when they put it up the second time around, all you'll have to do is pick it up. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. You can click on subscribe. Thanks for coming by and watching it. I'm going to send a hi out to my best friend, and you all take care.